I'm so excited to introduce our guest today. She is 1/3 of the Triple Espresso for the U.S. Women's National Team, Mal Swanson. Mal was so key to the U.S. attack at this summer's Paris Olympics, where, as we all know, USA brought home gold for the first time since 2012. Mal finished the Olympics with 4 goals, including the game winner in the gold medal match against Brazil. Mal, welcome to the women's game.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. This series is made possible by our great friends at Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Mal, first things first, I have to ask, where are you keeping your gold medal?
I'm not gonna lie, it was on just the kitchen counter for a while until all of our stuff got back from France. But now we got these little boxes, so now it's just in the Olympic box that we got.
Me and Becky have had this running joke that her gold medal, she uses it as a coaster.
Oh, I love that. No, mine's tucked away.
Yeah, I think the whole thing was a joke, but mine's right back there, right behind me. Well, mine's not gold either. It's
okay.
It's bronze.
They gave us these little boxes that you put it in and then you would have no idea that it's in there. It's so sneaky and nice.
That is sneaky, but
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Okay, Mal, one of my favorite things to come out during the Olympics was actually an old yearbook photo of you from the 6th grade where you had written, "I want to be on the USA soccer team and win a gold medal." Talk to us a little bit about this. Do you remember writing that? And then how did it feel to see that once you had won gold?
I do not remember writing that, but I obviously did. And you know what's funny is I feel like that surfaced when we won the World Cup in 2019. That I saw that for the first time then. And I was back then I didn't really know. When I wrote it, I think I meant more Olympics than World Cup.
Yeah.
But for it to apply to both is amazing. And when I saw it again, I was wow, it actually happened. That's so great.
I know. It's really cool. I think it resonated with a lot of people because it was such a great story of kind of a childhood aspiration coming true. When you reflect back on everything that's happened since then to now, well, how does that make you feel knowing that you actually made that happen?
Reflecting back, I feel it took a while for a lot of us to kind of just take a breath and actually absorb what happened. I feel going into a major tournament, you're striving for the best. You're striving to win the whole thing. You just never know if it's going to happen. And I think after not only the year I had last year and just the long waiting and the build up to that, and then for it to actually happen in the way it happened, it's still kind of surreal, I'm wow, that some days I seriously still wake up, I'm wow, that actually happened. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. It's really cool. Well, I can't wait to hear more about your goal, your tournament winning goal, but I kind of want to start at the beginning. The forward line made all the difference for the U.S. Women's National Team in this Olympic run. You, Trinity Rodman, and Sophia Smith tallied 10 of the USA's 12 goals during the 6-game Olympic run. Each of you scored a match winner in the knockout stage. Before we get to the gold medal match, I want to talk about your mindset in the lead up to the Olympics. You just mentioned you had missed last year's World Cup due to injury, which was incredibly difficult, and your presence being away from the team, it was really clearly missed. This was also your first Olympics in 8 years. You went to Rio in 2016, but you missed the 2021 Tokyo tournament. So what was your mindset going into a major tournament after being sidelined by injury for almost a full year?
Yeah, I honestly feel just the whole build up, you never really know what's going to happen. And I think that was kind of my mindset of even leading up to the roster being announced. I was you really never know. And especially after what happened last year, you truly just never know, in a blink of an eye, you could not even be physically capable to do that. So I feel leading up to it, I had the mindset of okay, now you just have to make the roster. And then once that happened, it was okay, what's the next step? And it was really, I think the whole time for me, and I feel for the team in general, I think a lot of the theme was just to stay present and not get too far ahead of ourselves. And I think that being set early on really helped me after the roster was set, and just being able to like really cherish the time leading into the tournament too. Like, you know, the pre-camp and the games, the two send-off games, I think just like enjoying those times. And then once we got there, it was like, okay, now we're here. Now we can like focus on the first game, you know? So it's just like, I feel like the mindset was just to like stay present. And with that came so many like good things.
Yeah, definitely. There was also a big change. Emma Hayes was brought on as head coach in January, but she didn't start in person with the team until June. And I know that when you and I last spoke in February, you expressed your excitement to train under Emma. You said you thought her coaching style would be a really good fit for this group. And clearly you were right. This team has had so much success under Emma already. Now that you've had time playing under her, what is it about her that you think has reinvigorated this team so much after what was such a disappointing World Cup last summer?
Obviously what Emma has done with the 10 games that she's been in, or I don't know the exact number, but I think it's 10.
I actually think it is 10.
Is it
Good
10?
job.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's like amazing. I think one thing that she said early on was just to like trust the process and like buy into the process. And I think having that in the back of our heads with like every little thing that we're doing is just like buying into the process, trusting the process, just like really helped the success of the team. And then I think also too, I think with Emma, what I've learned is like, she's not scared to like have fun, you know, in that role. It's such a big job. There's a lot of pressure being the head coach of the U.S. Women's National Team, but she does such a good job with the balance of like having fun, but also like being serious. And I think with the team and the environment, like being serious is fun and having fun is being serious, you know? So it's like the two go hand in hand. And I think Emma really just does a good job with like leading by that.
I was actually recently just talking to Emily Fox, and one of the things that she said about Emma was that as players at the Olympics, you all know how high stakes it is, and that Emma almost took that pressure off of you instead of like constantly reminding you like, you have to win this game, this is the Olympics, this matters so much, you've been dreaming of this your whole lives. She was kind of like the opposite. And so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about Emma's presence in that way and how it felt to have a coach try to take pressure off.
Yeah, I think Emma does a great job of just like doing exactly that. Like she really just truly wants the best for her players. And if that means exactly taking the pressure off of whether it's the media or just what's at hand, you know, I think that she does the perfect job of like really doing that. And she supports her players so well. And I think too, like she's someone that like I look up to personally. I think that just the way she leads a group and how she can have a group come together and the way that she did is like truly remarkable. I've never seen it done before. And I think that was really a huge key in why we were so successful.
Is there anything specifically that Emma has addressed with you that you've thought in the moment, wow, that's really going to help my game?
I think the one thing that really stuck with me was, it's like something so simple, but like I, in my game, just like need to do better with it. It's like in the finishing phase, she's like, take a step away when I'm like stepping into like I need to step into the ball to finish. And it's like something so minor, but I've done it opposite my whole life. It's really hard to explain, but it's like, if there's a one-time ball coming my way, like I need to like step into it instead of like I step back away and like wind up a lot of the time. So that was one thing during the Olympics that we actually like worked on. And I think that's like one thing that she mentioned. And then I also think she's really helped me just like be able to find like confidence in multiple positions. You know, I think that she's helped me be able to like realize that I can play in the pocket, that I can play out wide, and then if needed, like I can go into the 9 and like stretch the line as well. So like having her give me the confidence to do that has helped a lot.
Yeah. I've spoken to so many of you guys about Emma, and I think one of the things that I'm really curious about is Emma sounds like she's brought a vulnerability, an openness, kind of an emotional connection to all of you. I want to know if this openness from Emma is really unique to her as a person and a coach in your experience.
Yeah, I think that she, like I said earlier, I think she did such a good job of like the vulnerability part of like exactly that. Like when you're having a bad day, like what do you need from a teammate? And it like at that stage in a tournament like that, I didn't realize how critical that actually is. And like in past tournaments, I've never done anything like that. And I feel like when Emma stands in front of the group and like says that her vulnerabilities in front of the group, I think helps so much and allows like the players to feel vulnerable enough to like do that too. So I think, yeah, having her just be able to be vulnerable herself and then allows us to like be vulnerable too. And then you just see so much more growth with that. So yeah, I think it was a very, I've never done something like that with a team. But it was like very, very beneficial, obviously.
I find it so fascinating to hear about because for a lot of my career with the national team, of course, I could let my guard down with my close friends and tell them how I was really feeling. But I think there was always this kind of brave face that you had to put on in front of the group and say, I can handle the pressure. I'm fine. I'm not going to crack when we're in the final. And what it sounds like you all experienced was something totally different than that. And something that came out of it that was so clear to us was the joy that you all were playing with together, the joy that you had being there together. Do you think that was a lot of Emma's arrival and her influence on the group, or do you think it was just this specific group of players that clicked so well at the right time?
I think it's both because you're 100% right. Like in all the teams in the past, like I was never really, like we never did that. Like you like put on a front and like you go back in your room and then you can cry.
Yeah.
Like you, like you're only doing that in front of a few people, you know? And so to be able to like have that with the whole group was like super special. And then exactly what you said, like it brought out this like joy. It almost brought off like, it was like, oh, everyone can kind of breathe, you know, like everyone is okay. Like we're not perfect. And like, I feel like people embrace that. So like the pressure of the tournament in itself is already so high. So like to try and be perfect in every single thing is so hard. And that's when like people break down, you know? And so I feel like it was just a breath of fresh air being able to be like, oh, okay. Like we're all in this together. We are all like, we all have our flaws. And you know that with a team, but like to actually do it in front of each other and like see it really, it was something special.
Yeah, I imagine it created such a sense of trust that even would translate on the field where it's like when you are tied going late into a match, going into extra time, it's like, I trust everybody here so much. We're going to get this done. And Mel, your journey specifically was, I alluded to this earlier, so inspiring to watch. Going from your injury last year to scoring the gold medal winning goal. So I think I want to know, what would you give as advice to somebody who's maybe just dealing with the beginning stages of an injury right now, knowing that in 1 year after your major injury, you were celebrating winning a gold medal?
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely, the first thing I would say is like, you just like literally have to keep going on. I think for me during that time, I thought there's only one way through. And giving myself only one option through, I think helped just kind of like simplify everything for me. And it's so cliche to say like things will always get better because like they always do. But like when you're going through a hard time, like that's the last thing you want to hear. So yeah, that's why I think the first thing I would always say is like, you just literally have to keep going. Like you have to give yourself no other option than to keep going. And then in the back of your head, you can like on a good day be like, yeah, things are getting better and things will get better. And yeah, I feel like those two things kind of just like kept me going. And then obviously, yeah, ending with a gold medal through that like journey is like, I would have never ever even thought that would have happened, but it did. And I'm obviously like just super thankful and blessed to be able to be in that position. But yeah, I think the one thing that like got me to that is I just didn't give myself an option to like not do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an answer of like an elite competitor and somebody who wants something so bad that there's only one way to get there.
Yeah.
It's incredible to hear you talk about Mal. I want to ask you about Triple Espresso a little bit. Like I mentioned before, you, Trinity Robin, and Sophia Smith were so unstoppable on the attack the entire Olympic tournament. From your perspective, like the three of you are all forwards, but you clicked so well together. Like, what is it about your styles of play as individuals? And why do you complement each other so well?
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly like, I feel like on the field, we are all such different players, but obviously can play so well together. And I think during the Olympics, you saw that. I think it goes like deeper than just on the field. I feel like off the field, we like truly are like sisters, you know? And I think that just being able to have the relationships we do off the field help so much on the field. And I think all of us bring different things to the game on the field, but just to be able to have that like chemistry and bond off the field makes it so much easier on the field, honestly. You know, it's just like, it's something that it's something that just like feels right, you know? And like, I feel like it was such a long time coming of us three being able to play together. And so for it to like actually happen was like pretty special and obviously so much fun.
It looked really fun. You're all still so young. So lucky for us, there is so much more Triple Espresso coming our way. I did want to ask specifically about your relationship with Sophia Smith. I know you're both Colorado natives. And I'm just curious, like, if your familiarity with each other from growing up, from playing together a lot, is that part of what helped you integrate back into the team so quickly? Is that dynamic between the two of you and just your personal relationship?
Obviously, growing up, we both played for the same club growing up, and she was a couple years younger, but then we'd always scrimmage their team and she would like come and play with my team sometimes. So just having that like familiar face from before obviously helped. And then, yeah, over the past couple of years, we've grown just a lot closer. So just to be able to like have a friend like that is like from youth club soccer to now being on like the world stage together is like, it's exciting. And I feel like even though I'm a couple years older than Soph, I just feel like our relationship has like grown so much in the past couple of years. So I feel like, yeah, it was definitely when I saw her back in February, it was my first camp back with the team. And I hadn't seen her since I got injured. We both were like crying. Yeah, it was like, I know, February this year. Yeah, it was like we saw each other at camp and then we just like started crying because it was like so long since we've seen each other. But yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, that is really, really sweet. I just love when like really close friends off the field like also play so well together. It's just like the best thing ever.
No, I know.
All right, I want to talk about the gold medal match. It just happened to be your 100th cap now, which is so poetic that you would then get the game-winning, tournament-winning goal on your 100th cap. Walk us through the goal, starting with the run that you made through. Like, do you remember what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I remember the ball was played, and I was telling Soph, do not touch it. Like, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it, because she was offsides. I was like, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. You're offsides. And then I like got the ball. It came to me. And then I was like, oh, I just told her to not touch it. So like, I need to put this away. Like, I have to finish this ball because, like, from my angle, she was offsides. And, like, I don't know about the other side. But I was like, yeah, I need to put this away. And in the first, I don't know if anyone will remember this, but I surely do. But in the first half, I had an opportunity, and it was like very similar. On the left side, I was going at the goalkeeper, and I like tried to like toe poke it past. Was not successful. And I remember at halftime, I was like, dang, I should have like done this differently. And literally got the same opportunity, and was able just to like put it away. And I feel like that's definitely a finish that I've worked on over and over again. So I feel like the repetition of practice paid off in that moment. And yeah, I feel like that's really what I was remembering. I was like, oh, I like better score this. And thankfully I did. And then the next 30 minutes were literally the longest 30 minutes of my life. Like, can this just end, please?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So then the final whistle blows and you ran right to Alyssa Nair and hugged her. I know you and Alyssa have been teammates on the Chicago Red Stars, but can you just tell us why celebrating with Alyssa specifically in that moment was so special?
Yeah, I feel like like Alyssa, she was there through it all. Like, she was like there when I was down bad in May, and she'd like bring coffee and like set it on my doorstep and like not even come in my house because like I was like so sick, you know, like she would just like bring me stuff and just set it on my doorstep. And like, so yeah, I think running to her, and like we've just gone through a lot together, and I think just like the ups and downs of being in Chicago together, and then just like, yeah, our relationship as friends she's someone I like have looked up to for so long. And then to be able to be like such close friends with her is great. And the journey with her has been like, when I was in 2016, I was like roommates with her, you know, and like, when I was like,
when you were a baby,
when I was a little baby, and like, yeah. And then look at us now. So yeah, I feel like she's just been there every step of the way, and I've seen her journey, been with her. And so yeah, that was just a special moment for the both of us just to be able to share together.
Do you ever see an emotional side to Alyssa?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do see an emotional side. Alyssa is a carer. Like, she cares a lot for her people, and she will like fight for her people, and she's a deep, deep lover, deep down, which I love.
I know. Alyssa is a good one. You're all now heading back to camp for the first time since the team won the Olympic gold medal in August. What do you think the tone of this camp is going to be? It's the first time you're all playing together again since you won. Are you expecting it to be very celebratory?
I honestly have no idea, but I would imagine that I think it's going to be pretty special, because usually like after a major tournament, you have a September camp, but we didn't have a September camp. So I feel like going into it's been a while since we've all been together. And after the Olympics, it was just kind of like, okay, we won. We had one day together, and then everyone went away. So like, I think it's going to be really fun and exciting just to like get the group back together and kind of be able to like regroup and see each other again. And hopefully like continue to like celebrate, but also like, I think the vibe too is going to be like, we did that, but now it's like, okay, let's keep working. You know, I think that there's still so much that we can continue to improve on and continue to grow. And so looking forward to that.
Are you celebrating your 100th cap?
I am. I'm doing it in Nashville. I know.
What date is that?
The 27th.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That'll be so fun. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited too. All my family and friends, I think, are coming since it's like close to Atlanta.
That's really, really great. Well, I hope that that's really special. We'll definitely be watching. Okay, Mal, thank you so much for being here. A huge congratulations on your gold medal this past summer. You and the team were such a joy to watch. And I'm so excited that you're all back together in camp for 3 games this FIFA window. We will be watching and covering here at the women's game. And as always, cheering you on. So good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.